सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय, Mahayogi Swami Umanand Saraswati ki jai. Well, um, we are now going into the next 100 couplets of RIGVED. Let's say from 102 to about 200. The first 100 couplets were dedicated by Madhuchanda, son of Vishwamitra. In the next 100 couplets, we have two saints who have contributed. One sage is JETA. He is son of Madhuchanda, but he has done a very small proportion, about 8 to 9 couplets. He is RICHAS. And the rest of them are taken up by MEDHATITHI, who is again son of sage Kanva. So these are, now at least we know that there are generations which are coming up together. The father is doing the same, the son is doing. The father here, Kanva is doing, and his son MEDHATITHI is doing. Madhuchand is doing, his son JETA is doing. And Madhuchand's father also was Vishwamitra. So we have almost generations together. It's a priestly family. Let's just put it like that. The priestly families of Vedic times. So now let's say, what exactly did what is the main message of Ved? Let us see what is the main message of Ved. Last time we traced the main message of Ved was do karma. Especially of RIGVED was do karma, because you are made of the 5 elements, and 5 elements are all the time moving and they are active. So we cannot be without action. So that was the first message we gained. Now in this 100 couplets, RICHAS, we derive some new formulas, new understandings. So the first understanding which came to my mind was in the form of Sukta. Now Sukta is a set of RICHAS in Ved are dedicated to certain gods, like we did Agni Sukta in first chapter. Now in the second we might come across Vaman Sukta, but we will come to it next time. This time I am going to just give you an idea of what Suktas wanted to communicate to you. So they talked about not only the gods, they are a part of Ved, and what is the main message of Ved? What it tries to tell you is that the world is made of animate, inanimate, living and non-living beings. The entire world, whether you, me, the world around, it is made of two basic things, the living and non-living. Now, Ved is going to introduce all these, even living as well as non-living beings on the earth. The living creatures and the non-living objects are being introduced by Ved to the world. Now, is there a direction to it? Yes. They are telling us, Ved is trying to tell us how to use these objects as well as the living creatures, as well as the objects. But for what? Just to live? Is it just to live? No, it is trying to tell us how to get liberated or attain moksha, or attain immortality, or attain divinity. So the Ved is basically talking about everything that exists in the world. Whether it is planetary forces, whether it is 5 elements, whether it is mankind, whether it is animal world, whether it is a herbs world, vegetation world, vegetable world, cattle world, whatever it is, Ved is introducing all of them. And secondly, it insists that if we know them, we have to learn how to use them to attain final. All of us should have a final goal. Mankind should have a final goal. The final goal is itself liberation, moksha. Moksha. Then let us put it in a milder way, that is become divine or immortal. So that is the main objective of mankind. All of us are not sharing the same probably. That's why there is so much of difference. We all need to have a common objective, and that is attain liberation. So if you have to attain liberation, these are the things from A to Z. Like in English, you have alphabets. This is from A to Z are the alphabets. There are vowels and consonants. Now you master the language. That is how the world is telling you, Ved is telling you, these are the objects in the world, these are the subjects in the world. You have to use, the subjects have to use the objects in order to attain moksha. That is the final objective of man. This objective has to be defined by us at every stage once we are wizened, once we start using our intellect. You have to understand that we have to say, for example, we have small objectives, like when we go to, say we are 18, we want to go to colleges, we want to attain some professional course so that we can earn. So objectives are there. But what is the final objective? The final objective of mankind should be to become immortal, divine, or let us say, liberated is the word which is commonly known to all of us, that is moksha. How to get moksha? So the world has introduced, Veda has given you all the objects in the world available. All the subjects which are available in the world, whether they are godly, they are mortal, they are immortal, or they are mortal, immortal combined. So there are three types of categories. One is the most immortal, let's say. Then second is immortal through mortal. And third is mortal. So there are only three categories of creations, let's say. Now, these three creations we have to try and understand so that we can use these objects in the world and to become enlightened. Now, is there a key formula, a secret which is given? Yes, there is one very beautiful derivation which is given to us. Now, when you speak in English, you know that we have any sentence has three things in it: subject, verb, and object. For example, I say, I have a pen. Okay, subject is I, verb is have, and pen is the object. Now, what is the secret of Veda? Veda is asking us to treat the object as active and subject as passive. This is a very important message for all those who want to understand Veda or understand the creation. Forget about Veda. It's a format which is given to you. Veda means knowledge. So let's not look upon it as just 4 books. No. It's a general knowledge, a general principle, a principle which rules the world. So what is the main principle? How can you become liberated? So everything that is an object. See, I have a pen. I is active here because I'm having a pen. I'm active. I is in active form. Verb is have, and pen is in the passive form. We know active and passive. So similarly, now we have to reverse the situation. If you want to get liberated, you have to learn this art. How to reverse the situation? The pen has handed itself over to me in my hands so that I can have it. Or pen is had by me. This is the very secret of Veda. Try and see. Same thing happens. You go to the church or you go to the temples. The gods are idols. They are made of either stone or gold or whatever, one of the metals or whatever. You go to the temples. What do? You tell the god who is in the form of a stone or who is in the form of gold or silver or statue or whatever it is. What do you tell him? Please protect me. And what have you done? You have made him active and you have become passive. You have made that God element active and you have become passive. Is this the secret? Is this the secret of Veda? It is helping us to try and exchange your situation of a subject into a passive subject. I'm not saying it is converting you into an object, no. but you can become a passive subject and make the object active. Please, friends, try and understand what I'm saying. This is a very deep message in this. You have to only reverse your attitude. Suppose you are reading a book. Now you are saying, I am reading the book. Okay, now we'll make it the other way around. The book is read by me. Okay, now have you made the book is read by me active yet? No. The book is still passive, even if you have changed the situation from object to subject. Now you have to make it active. So please, O scriptures, see that I understand you. Enlighten me. Enlighten me. Pen, lead me to write. Speech, help me to convey my message. Eyes, help me to see the world. World, let my eyes get improved in sight. Use the object. Make it active. You have to be passive. You have to be passive. That is the key message of Ved. In these 100, it stands out prominently. This is the contribution of MEDHATITHI, son of Ganvamuni. This is a very important message. Now, what is the reason? Why is this game played? Why is this game at all introduced to the world? Why couldn't we just live as being active, as subjects and human beings with intelligence and action? No, then what is the game behind? Because they want to create us an atmosphere in which all of them can live then comfortably. Mankind today is divided, but does the nature mean there should be no division? No, MEDHATITHI has introduced one more god called Sri Vishnu, who is supposed to be a creator of diversity. So the creation, there is no compulsion that it should be similar. In the process of creation, no law states that there should be similarity. There is diversity. Then how can you make it more peaceful and see that their consciousness is given to them, their characteristic? The scriptures have to see that I understand. The scriptures have to be easier so I understand. The world has to be more active so that I can live easily. The air has to flow such a way that I can breathe easily. The winds have to be less stormy if I have to enjoy my evening walk. Whatever it is, you just reverse the active person in you to a passive and the passive elements around you into active. That is the key secret of Ved. Please make a record of this, all those who are students who are wanting to study the subject. Keep these your guiding principles. We'll highlight it in volume 2, but these are the guiding principles you have to remember. Now, in the process, all that is, which is the immortal world is now defined. First, mortal is not defined yet. The immortal is defined first. We have immortal world, mortal world, and a combination of immortal and mortal. So we have three things with us: immortal world, immortal mortal, and mortal. Like we have Dvait, Dvaita, Advait, and Advait. These are various words which show you three shades of the same thing. Three shades of the same thing. Now we are going to be first introduced to, through Ved, they are now first telling us what the immortal world is about. We don't know. We are trying to discover Mars and the planet and the weather on it. And why not we discover heaven? Let us discover heaven. It will solve all our problems. Maybe then Mars will be like an open plate to us, served a dish to us for understanding. First, let us discover heaven. And it has been discovered by rishis, so it's not something which is beyond us. It is something we need to discover. It is called dew, D-H, DYU, let's say dew, DYU. Dew is heaven. So let us first try to discover heaven, because that is the world of the immortal. Where it is, we yet don't know. But I feel it might be made of everything that is luminous, or all that is luminous in the world probably belongs to that world. Or God must be made of light. But along with it, that light has got another element, which is heat. Is God made of only Agni? Must have been, because the Kundalini in our body is made of fire and light. So maybe God is also just made of fire and light. Maybe, I don't know. And which has got the existing other powers, but it is something to do definitely with luminosity. The God's world or the heaven is made of luminosity. That is for sure. Now, along with luminosity, why heat concept is there? Because whenever gods come, it is so said that there will be cooling feeling, so it must be absorbing aware. It is sun rays, they absorb the waters. So probably it has got some powers which are very easy. We also absorb water, not that we don't, but we don't radiate light. We don't radiate light. We radiate understanding and a small element of light. Understanding we may radiate, but light in which others can see, yes, part of it, again, an ounce, an inch of it, or a percentage of it, we radiate. Anyway, now we are being introduced by Medhatithi to the immortal world. He is not talking about the mortal world right now. So let us also now keep aside mortal world for the time being and think of the immortal world. Now, immortal world is made of 33 elements. 33 gods they call. We'll call it elements or principles or gods. Let's call gods because we are familiar with the word. We are familiar with the word. So what is the basic need of who is God? Whoever he is, what is the main, why is he so important? Because he is interested in saving mankind. He is interested in saving the world. Had he been a cruel person, it would have been difficult. Because he is supposed to be someone saving the world. Now, how does he save us? Now, look at the roles which are played by various gods introduced by Medhatithi. Medhatithi has introduced very many good things about gods. His first credit gives it to God Indra. He is supposed to be the god of nation. In Vedic period, he was considered as the god of the nation. So, like we have prime minister, president, and all, whatever it is. But of course, much above all that, let's not say. But he is a maker. What is his main job? What is the main job of the head of the nation? Make the country fearless. Make the country fearless. That is the main job of that food, shelter. All this is given by the head of the country. He provides. We had the monarchy when there was king was there, whatever it was. That is, the king is not there. But the godly lords are all lordly. They are wealthy. They are generous. They are fearless. They are strong. They are mighty. They are invincible. So, what are they against them? They are only against one thing, and that is ego. They don't like ego. Can we fight them? No, we can't fight them. We can't fight storms. Can we fight storms now? No, we can't. Whether it is tsunami, whether it is fire in California or anywhere, we can't fight it. The only way we can do is pray to whoever is in charge. The God is in charge of all these winds and five forces and all. So we can only say, please, oh God, absorb this. Minimize it. Don't hurt us. And this is how the concept of prayers and praises have come up. It's a very methodical development in in praising the gods, the man has become more richer in it. So the more you praise, the more praiseworthy you become. These are the laws of Ved. They are laws, outlined laws in Ved. The more you praise, the more praiseworthy you become. The more praiseworthy you become. These are the laws of the Ved. Now, God, what is God Indra giving us? Fearlessness. Don't you want to be fearless? Of course, I want to be. And I'm scared of even cockroaches. Now, how can I be fearless? So I pray that there are no cockroaches. Then the world starts. You start buying HIT, or you buy some sprays. But the world starts because I want to be fearless. So if I have to be fearless, what do I need? I need something in the environment. What is there now? The HIT is there. Suppose. Now, what do I say to the HIT? Please kill all the cockroaches. What am I doing? I'm giving the element, the object, an active role and minimizing my role into a passive role. Friends, Ved is something nice. Let us only not judge them right now, whether they are holy books or not books. No, there are three basic things. It tells you about everything that exists in the world. Second, it tells you how to use it. For what? To make yourself immortal in the world. And therefore, those books are cherished, they are valuables, they are precious. Because we need to know about it. Now, I'll give you another beautiful example of Usha, that is morning dawn. When it is dawn, when it is in the morning, the saints who get up, they are inspired by mantras. It is the responsibility of Usha to inspire, the dawn to inspire the Rishi to create mantras. So who's the creator? Usha is the creator. You are only the mic through which it is being said. And this credit was duly given by the rishis, the creators of the mantras, to the gods. That is why they have praised Usha. When it was morning dawn, the rishis, the sages, were inspired by mantras. When it was night, when the moon was up, the poets were inspired with songs of love. So who's responsible for those poetry, that kind of poetry? Again, as I said, Nisha. Nisha is the night, goddess of night. What does the sun do when he wakes up? He inspires us, motivates us to work. He motivates us to work. Can you imagine? We are only converting an active into passive and passive into an active role. The key message of the Ved. Then there is another, a few more gods are introduced. There was another god introduced, Brahmanspati. He is considered to be one who gives you intellect, who gives you intelligence. Now, don't you want intelligence? Yes. So just like sun makes you work, Usha inspires you with mantras, Nisha inspires you with poetry and makes visionaries. Similarly, Brahmanspati sharpens or gives you intelligence. So when we had seen it in the time of the first one, Madhuchanda, he invites all the gods. Till we were happy with the 5 elements and their contributions, we were okay. But the moment we decided to reach the heavens and saw the stars and the moon and the sun and all and wanted to be luminous like them, we wanted to invite somebody. Whom did we invite? We invited Brahmanspati, the god of intelligence. Now, what are you doing? You are only creating an object, a live objective who's taking an active role in your life rather than and you are allowing yourself to be passive for some time. Brahmanspati is a god of knowledge. I go to the temple, I am folding my hands before the Guru. Guru is god of knowledge for me. And what am I saying? I'm telling my Gurudev, she's in the form of idol now. But I'm kneeling before her and saying, please bless me with a wise intellect. And what is that intellect needed for? So that I can speak correctly, I can act correctly, I can, final objective, I can attain moksha. I can attain moksha, liberation. It's very important. Our final objective is very important. This trivial objective, there are small stations. Where are you going? I'm going to Hyderabad. There are stations on the way, Solapur, whatever. Am I stopping there? No. I'm going to go further. So my furthest aim is moksha. And in the world, whatever is available is there in front of you in the form of information. There are the stars, the moons, the planets, the waters, the sky, the earth, the cows, the snakes, everything, anything in the world, living, non-living, trees, herbs, everything is there. Ved is telling these are A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, all 26 alphabets, all thousands of objects in the world are introduced to you on the platform. And why are you being told about them? So that you can use them for what? To attain liberation. So, and what is the main key? Make everything that is, whether living or non-living, whether intelligent or non-intelligent, make them passive, active, and you become passive. Then let us see how it works. For example, even if it is a doctor, he goes to the patient, I can treat you, but you have to have your will to survive it. You use your will. You are making the patient passive, from passiveness to activeness. Receive the medicine. I remember there was one case. My mother-in-law, when, I am not going to make it very personal, but one lady in my family was almost, she had lost interest in life because she had lost her family. Her son, all the near and dear. So the medicine would not work on her. The doctors were giving the medicines. So finally the doctors, we all started telling her, please let the medicines work on you. What are we trying to do? We are making a passive patient an active patient. Friends, this is a very highest secret of Ved. I doubt if it is clarified by other scholars. As I said again, back to my Guru on my knees, and I say my Guru is inspiring me to understand Ved. Otherwise, it's very difficult to understand. We don't know why they are talking about so many words. So they are first telling you about the immortal world. What is the immortal world responsible for? But you have to make them active. They can be active provided you are passive. You don't have to hamper with the verb. Don't hamper with the verb. Verb is going to be as it is. You are only hampering with the passive object to become active object, and we have to be passive subjects. That is the main secret. They have asked Brahmanspati to give us intelligence, and they have asked the goddess of knowledge to sharpen the intellect. We can understand that. You take even in a kitchen you will see, you have a small spoon, a big spoon, a large spoon, a plate, a design. Everything is there at different shapes because of different utility values. And this is just about 33 gods. You have more than 33 objects in your kitchen. You have more than 33 objects in your bedroom. You have more than 33 objects in your hall, living space. You have more than 33 friends. You have more than 33 members of the society who know you. So why get so hassled with 33 gods? Don't worry, we have to know the immortal world. Otherwise, how will you? We are trying to discover Mars. Let us try and discover heaven. Let us try and discover heaven. And I'm sure some of the sages have done it. Then why not we? We can also discover it. We don't have to have any scientific thing. We just need to use our brains. And that also we need to be as I said, just make the entire objective world active in your life. And you try to take a second step as passive person. This is one of the highest secrets which I think I have been able to understand. I humbly thank my Guru for it. Now, functions of gods, they are supposed to, because they don't hate anybody. They don't hate anybody. That is, so if you want to be a god, can you be that? Yes, stop hating anybody. That's the first quality, you pick it up. You pick up the first quality. Don't hate anybody. Learn to make everybody active, because he is Lord of a diversity. Lord Vishnu is considered to be a god of diversity. He is one of the major gods expressed in Veda. So the creation itself, the creator himself has decided to create versatility, a variety. How can you say there should be no variety? There has to be a variety. But can you use it to get liberated? Then use it. Can you get it to be happy? Use it. But main objective has to be liberation. Are you using it for liberation? Yes. Then let us see which are the other, even the plants and herbs are made active by the sage, Medhatithi I'm talking about. He tells the plants and herbs, please supply to us medicinal herbs in plenty so that we can offer it to the gods and then gods can be healthy and nourishing. This is a very huge secret we are sharing today. Very huge secret. Then there is God is a lot. There is a God who is made responsible for giving wealth. We have finance department. We have a minister for financial affairs. We have a minister for agricultural affairs. Gods also in their world must be having a system where these various departments are handled by gods. It has to be a simultaneous world which is living with us, because there is a concept of chariot which is bringing them down with speed from one planet or one heaven. Let's say the other important planet for us is a heaven. Don't worry about, of course, the scientists are not interfering by their views, but I'm talking about spiritual seekers. You just decide that there are only two planets, Earth and Heaven. That's enough, right, for us. Let there be many, because the rest of them are working through us in form of chakras. So we don't need to be other than. There is a Jupiter in us, there is a Saturn in us, there is a Mangal in us in the form of chakras. We'll come to it later. But right now, let us see that there are only two. One is heaven, where God exists, and one is earth, where we exist. We have to discover the heaven. Let's not worry about the Mars and the Saturn and all. Let the scientists do their job. This is a spiritual world we are talking about. Let us try and discover the... Now, in this immortal world of heavens, which were the gods which existed, we met Agni. He was on the earth as well as the heaven in the form of sun. He is in the heaven. In the form of space, he is in the form of lightning. On earth, he is in the form of fire. So we have gods. Then we had now we went to the Indra. Indra was supposed to be the gods of the planets. So he belongs to the world of the heavens. So we want to talk about the god of the heavens, the immortal gods of the heavens, who were expected to be luminous. Luminous, they were bright. They were luminous. That is one basic quality they must be having. They must be having. So everything that is heavenly, see, because therefore you look up at the stars and say everything is heavenly. In the light of the sun, you don't see these luminous objects, because that is the most luminous object in the world. I wouldn't call it an object, let's call it God itself. But say, then you have the Bhaga, there was a lot of wealth. Then you have Rubu, they were the trainers. Now, trainers of horses, they had to travel right from that particular planet, heaven, to earth. So, they had to be trained to be fast. They had to be trained like light. Can you imagine the speed of light? Yes, they had to be of the speed of light. And therefore, their rays, the shapes taken by the rays of light, the clouds which form, all these are used to describe their gods coming down to earth. through their chariots, which had as 7 horses. Now, these 7 horses were considered to be the 7 colors of the light. We have Vibgyor, violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. Yes, something similar like that they were. And you can see these shades in the world. You can see it in rainbow, you can see it up in the sky when it is Usha, when it is twilight and whatever it is. Then you had the Twashta. Twashta was another god who was the makers of God. Probably he made some of the rishis as gods. I'll tell you, Rubhu was ordinary mortals like you and me, but because they were so skilled in their work, they got promoted to godly world. They were so skilled in making chariots. They were so skilled in making cows nourishing. They were so skilled in training the horses that they achieved a status of divinity. That shows that man can become immortal, mortal can become immortal, provided you bring every passive object into an active state and you try to take a passive role. Language has to be changed. Our language, our speech has to be changed. Instead of saying, let me understand the scriptures, I have to say, may scriptures be understood by me. May scriptures be understood by me. Take a passive role and see what happens. Miracles will start happening, I'm sure for it. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. Sometimes when we had a very common talk during some spiritual get-togethers of MIT. At that time I had said, you all are all trying to protect Himalayas. For once, let us say, Himalayas, please protect us. You never know what can happen. I don't know. I'm also just like you and me. But I'm going to use this technique now. And I want all those who are listening to me to use this technique in their life of trying to re-establish your role and make yourself passive in any activity and make the activity, object of the activity, active. If you can do that, maybe we'll create a new way of living slowly. Let us start slowly. So 10 years ago, 20 years ago, mobile was introduced. Today, entire world is enjoying. So why not we start changing this? This is a beautiful way of understanding the world. Let us try and do it. Then you have the Marudgan. They were gods of storms. Now they can come and slash off everything. Within a stroke of their movement, they can wipe off the entire village, entire town, entire city. They can. That is one of the forces of these gods in heaven, whoever they are. We don't know them. We have to discover them. We have to discover heaven. We have to discover the gods of heaven. So we have to understand that they are the powers of gods. Marudgan is another powerful element in the hands of God. Can I control it? No. Can I humble there and stand? No. Only humbling is not enough. Only dissolving my ego is not enough. Yes, you, O Marudgan, blow gently. That's the only way I can see we can change the situations in the world. Let us try this. Then you have Hota, the word. The word Hota is used for the priests of RIGVED. Hota, the word is used for the priests of the RIGVED.